Hi, I'm Janna Donovan. I'm an anxiety therapist with an MBA, otherwise known as the Work Stress Guru. Today, I want to talk with you about something that a lot of people have been talking about, both friends, clients, etc., during this time, and that is anger. Anger is one of the top emotions associated with anxiety, as I get a front row to sit and listen to people talk about their work stress and anxiety. Even more so during this time of being in close quarters, locked down, in uncertainty, etc. So, um, I thought I'd talk with you a little bit about what anger is and what it can signify and other emotions it can actually be hiding. How, and then give you some tips for how to identify what is making you mad, and then how to some of the quickest ways to get unmad or to calm down. Uh, this is also one of the bigger motivators for people to deal with their work stress and their anxiety, because anger and angry outbursts can actually be pretty dangerous to our relationships, and that's one of the number one things we don't want to lose during this time or any other time. So just bear with me, and I am definitely going to do a little show and tell today, because I really want this to be out there, and people to be able to read about it, and my clients. Okay, so anger. Anger is an emotion that we're all very familiar with. We know that we can do some pretty crazy things when we're mad. It is one of the most common emotions that we express. A lot of that has to do with the fact that many of us, when we're young, it's not especially men, but also women. When we're young, we're told, "Hey, if you feel a bad emotion like pain or embarrassment or hurt, someone's hurt your feelings, it's really not that acceptable. It's kind of weak to show that you are hurt. So the advice you get loud and clear, even though it's not specifically stated, is to go ahead and show anger. And that can actually give other people who have been victims of, say, physical problems or whatever, it actually helps them feel stronger. And so that's something that one of the reasons that we go ahead and express anger. But I'm going to show you how it actually can be like an iceberg. And with the anger up top is what you can see. But what we really need to learn about ourselves is what is on the bottom. What is underneath the water that we can't see? You know, an iceberg, only a seventh of it is above ground, above the water that we can see. So let me show you this little document right here. I got it from therapistaid.com. I'll try to hold it still. And so what that shows is that anger is above where you can see it, but the other things that might be below are sadness, being overwhelmed, certainly during this time, loneliness. What if I'm quarantining alone or locked down? Very frustrated, uncertainty, pain, feeling threatened, stressed, anxiety, scared, hungry. We could be hangry, jealousy, and shame. All of those things are actually can be below the anger that we're actually expressing. So one of the things that is very good for us is to learn what causes my anxiety to flare up. My anger. What causes me to have an angry outburst, and what can I do about it? That's one of the top things you can do about it, is learn what is the theme, what makes me maddest. Oh, here comes that thing from my childhood, or the way my sister treated me when I was little, and you know that always makes me mad. Don't try to control me. Don't try to boss me around. Don't leave me out. I mean, there's millions of things that can go towards embarrassment, feeling overwhelmed. Certainly during this time, you're going to feel even more of that, and express it in different ways. I don't know about for you, but for me, the smallest things in this lockdown have been the things that have made me angry. I'm trying to stay calm and positive about all the other stuff. But if a package won't open, or something won't come, work technologically, can flare up and get to a stage 10, instead of, dealing with it. So anger can cause anxiety. Anxiety can then feed into anger. So they really go together a lot. Let me tell you 5 steps that a lot of people really advise when they are doing anger management. And this is for people who are ordered to anger management from from jail, or from any other kind of system, the justice system. So anyway, number one thing you need to know is that venting is a myth. Venting actually has been shown to actually cause us to just be better at being mad. So we want to go tell somebody, and yes, it's okay to complain and talk to somebody who has compassion about it. But venting is, I go back to that exact same person, I tell them exact same stories about how angry I am. And what it does is actually make me better at being angry. I've already said that. So second of all, so try not to do that. Talk to somebody you trust. Talk to someone about solutions. How can I get out of that? Let go, accept, do something about what I can control and let the rest go. Second of all, learning how to say no, or I don't like that, or express difference or disagreement when we're in gear 2. So I call that learn to do in gear 2. So not in gear 10. A lot of times we think we're being kind to the people we live with and our kids if we say, that's fine, that's okay, that's good, okay, I'll understand, I'm the understanding person. But then actually, because that irritates us so badly, we wait and wait and wait, and then we get all the way to gear 10, and then it is a volcano that erupts and can be very dangerous to our relationships. And so we have this really angry outburst. So learn to talk about it when you already are in gear 2. Hey, can you talk to me in a different tone of voice? Third one is take a time out. This is one of the number one rules of fighting fair. If you aren't allowed to take a time out in your house or in your relationship, maybe you need to sit down and talk about that, because that's actually one of the best ways that you can keep anger from actually making you say things that can't be unsaid. And that's part of what we're trying to protect from here. Fourth one is exercise. Go out for a walk, and it is a definite calmer downer. So everybody will say that you'll blow out the cortisol that's in your body that actually keeps us on edge, keeps us in fight, flight, or freeze, where we know that there's something wrong. And finally, since I did bring up fight, flight, or freeze, and the kinds of cortisol is that the hormone that actually is produced when we're scared or when we're ready to fight. Anyway, what I like, the fifth one is that I'd like to talk about that fight, flight, or freeze. And I'm actually showing you something from more show and tell to show you a brain. This is a brain that I often show people about. This is your brain, and this is the decision-making part, and this is the back of your brain that controls breathing, etc. And so inside, we try to show you that there are parts of your brain that protect you. This part does all the thinking and decision-making, but this part is actually the part that's fight, flight, or freeze. And in that area, it doesn't know that it's not in danger once you think you're in danger, because your feelings have been hurt, you've been left out, you're jealous, you're embarrassed, you're really scared of the uncertainty of what's going on. That part of your brain that I showed you doesn't really know that that's not a life or death situation. And so it begins to tell you need to shorten your breath, dilate your pupils. It does all kinds of things. That's the fight, flight, or freeze response. So the last advice that most people give you, and that most people think is kind of like, why would that help with anything? I hear people make fun of it, is deep breathing. It is the fastest way to show your brain we're not at war. There's not a tiger trying to eat me. We are safe for right now. This is not the end of the world. Whatever I'm being mad about, the package that won't open, the frustration that I feel, the feeling disrespected by someone I'm with, just being in too close a quarters, it's not life or death. So in that sense, starting into some long breaths, some deep breaths can actually signal to the brain, oh, okay, we're not getting ready to fight anybody. No, just sitting here trying to figure out, why I'm disagreeing with this person. So anyway, the final thing that I'd like to say is, yes, if any of these things are life or death, or they bring up some dangerous or dark thoughts, or thoughts of, wanting to take your own life, I definitely want you to know about a lifeline called 1-800-273-TALK. And it's 1-800-273-8255. And I want you to know about it and tell friends about it. It's the fastest way. There are people who talk with you 24 hours a day if you have any kind of mental health emergency, but especially if you have dark thoughts during this time, please go there and talk to them. They will be of great service. I'm Janna Donovan. I'm the work stress guru. If you want to talk to me, call, write, or text me. If I'm not licensed in your state, I will show you how to find someone who is. And my website is www.workstress.guru. Thanks a lot.